way he talked about his mother came out and said that they need to get off her porch or she's going to call the police, then why she didn't call the police at that moment? If that was what they needed to do to avoid shooting him and killing him, then why she didn't call the police?
A man breaks into someone's home in the middle of the night, and somehow the homeowner is the villain. That's exactly what happened in Miami-Dade County when 26-year-old Quanterry Alvin Whitley tried to force his way into someone's home in the middle of the night after he'd been told repeated times, stop and leave. And the homeowner did what any of us would do. He defended himself. But within hours, of course, Whitley's mother is on local television saying that her son should not have been shot. No accountability, no responsibility, just blame. And until society calls this exactly what it is, criminal behavior, innocent people like you and me are going to continue to be treated like we're the problem. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell. You got to take a look at this.
To that breaking news, a homeowner protecting himself and his home with his own gun. Miami-Dade deputies confirmed the homeowner shot at 4 people that were trying to break in.
And tonight, one of those suspects is dead. So let's bring in Magdala Luisan live in Southwest Miami-Dade with all of the late breaking details. Magdala, what can you tell us?
Sanella, JC, a little over 3 hours since this incident happened, you can still see Miami-Dade Sheriff deputies are still on scene here working it. And I had a chance to speak with some neighbors here. They tell me this is a quiet neighborhood and everyone pretty much knows each other. So they are all shocked to know what happened here. Several Miami-Dade Sheriff deputies with the Kendall District want to figure out why 4 people were trying to force their way into a home in the area of Southwest 141st Street and Southwest 110th Avenue. The Sheriff's Office tells us this happened around 6:40 Saturday evening. The homeowner, deputies say, was inside the house at the time and shot towards the 4 people. One of them was shot in the upper part of his body. A 911 call to police explains more on the emergency.
It was a person shot. It wasn't a male that broke into the KTH, and he shot in the face and the mouth.
The man rushed to the hospital in critical condition, died from his injuries at the hospital. As for the other 3 people involved, deputies say they ran away. When we arrived, we saw a man pacing back and forth. Police also spoke with him and eventually had him sit in the back of one of their cruisers while they continued their investigation.
So there's the layout to the story. 4 people tried to break into this man's home. One of them got shot and the other 3 ran away. So let me just put a quick PSA out there to all of you local gangsters and tough guys who want to break into someone's house. If you get shot, your accomplices are not waiting around. The other 3 guys are still at large. They're still being searched for. No one's sticking around when they hear gunshots. But more importantly, the way the story is almost being framed is that we're supposed to feel some sympathy. What, for somebody who's committing a B&E, trying to break into someone's house, and then that homeowner has to defend himself with deadly force? That's exactly what I would do. That's what exactly any of you should do. You should not take a moment to try and consider what that person who's breaking into your house might or might not do. When it's a life and death situation, you need to defend yourself. And for those of you who want to commit those types of robberies, breaking and entering into someone's home, just know a lot of us are not taking it anymore.
And the Sheriff's Office tells us their homicide unit will take lead on this, and there's no further information that they can share with us right now because this is still an ongoing investigation.
And now at 5, a grieving mother speaks to CBS News Miami after her son was shot and killed during a home invasion. The man who pulled the trigger says he was trying to protect himself from a break-in at his home in the middle of the night. CBS News Miami's Peter Dench joins us live from Richmond Heights with the latest on this story. Peter.
Well, Jim, we can tell you that the homeowner actually showed us his own ring cam video that shows him flashing his gun initially to try to scare off the 4 intruders. But the mother of the man who was shot says the homeowner overreacted. The homeowner did not want to be shown or identified, but he told us when he heard his mother screaming about the intruders at their home Saturday night, he grabbed his gun and says he was forced to shoot 26-year-old Quanterry Alvin Whitley.
As I'm coming to go in the house, he charges at me He comes inside right after me. So I shot 2 times, and I wish it never happened.
The homeowner could not say if any of the intruders had weapons. Whitley's mother, Lashaundia Jackson, told me the homeowner should have never opened fire.
The way he told him about his mother came out and said that they need to get off her porch or she's going to call the police, then why she didn't call the police at that moment? If that was what they needed to do to avoid shooting him and killing him, then why she didn't call the police?
Ring cam video captures the moments shots were heard. The homeowner says he did not want to have to fire.
And there you have another ghetto mother on television saying, hey, you didn't have to shoot my son just because he broke into your house with 3 of his ne'er-do-well friends. You should have just called the police. And this is why this continues to happen. If this mother has this opinion about her son after this happened, you can only imagine how many times she tried to make excuses for his bad behavior up until now. But the difference is, up until now, he was still alive. Now, he's dead.
I'm literally holding the gun up. My finger's not on the trigger. I'm trying to scare them, trying to get them, to leave. Never pulled it out, never used it, ever.
But Jackson's mother is challenging what the homeowner is saying.
He was a father.
Father.
He was a son. He was a brother. He was a cousin. He was everything. Did he have run-ins with the law? Yes, he did. But a home invasion wasn't one of them.
How do you know? How do you know that a home invasion wasn't one of them? Here's the question. If he wasn't guilty of a home invasion, then why did he get shot at this man's house? I get so tired of mothers, and we know this is a single mother, or we can infer this is a single mother because she and her son have different last names. So we can infer that this is the same old stereotype, single mother, raising single son, bad side of town. She's out there with her bonnet on, making excuses for her son, saying, yeah, he's had run-ins with the law, but he's never been guilty of a B&E, or breaking and entering, because maybe this is the first time he got caught, Miss Jackson. That's number one. But number two, for her to say he was a father, he was a son, he was a brother, he was a cousin, whatever the hell she said. Here's the difference. You don't have to do anything to be any of those things. If you're a father and you have a child, then you're automatically, biologically, a father. If you have a mother, you're someone's son. If your mother has a sister who has children, then you're a cousin. But you have to consciously kick in someone's door to try and break into their home. And then if that homeowner responds with deadly force, that's your fault. That's 100% your own doing. It was completely voluntary. If that young man does not kick in that door that night, he's still alive. But as usual, the mother is not going to take any accountability. The expectation from her is that the homeowner should have done something else other than defending himself, not knowing what her son was going to do. And then you hear her admit he's had run-ins with the law before. When are we going to stop making excuses and hold each other accountable, especially our children?
And I just want to send condolences to his family. I've never been in trouble a day in my life. Never hurt another person a day in my life. Never wanted to shoot a person a day in my life.
And that's probably the worst thing about what happened to the shooter in this story. You hear him right there. He's extending his condolences to the family when he doesn't owe any. We need to get to a point in our society where we say, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. You kick in my front door, you deserve whatever happens to you. And these other 3, like I said, perpetrators who are with this young man, they are still at large. They need to be apprehended. Somebody out there knows who these 3 men are, and they're not turning them in. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to go out there and attempt a breaking and entering into someone else's house, and then one of them is going to get shot, and then their mother is going to be back on television saying, my baby ain't never hurt nobody. You can just listen to that homeowner. You can listen to his vocal inflections. He is really, really contrite about having been put in a situation where he had to take someone's life. But guess what? I don't feel sorry for that young man. I don't feel sorry for his mother. You know what? He got what he deserved. And unless and until we get to a point in our society, there's a whole contingent on the left that talks about restorative justice and that, everyone has the possibility to be the best version of themselves. But sometimes you don't get the chance to do that. Sometimes you kick in someone's door and with great trepidation, they pull out a firearm and they take your life. And if that's the situation you put yourself in, it's no one's fault but your own. And I certainly don't feel sorry for Miss Jackson because she raised that monster. She didn't say this was the first time he had some issue with the criminal justice system. She admits he had repeated issues with the criminal justice system. Hell, go back and look at his picture. He's in a picture that's blurred out he's holding up a gun on an ATV, I guess flashing gang signs. He's advertising that he's involved in that lifestyle. So no, I don't feel sorry for him. I'm glad that man, that homeowner who was at home with himself and his mother, that they are still alive because they were minding their own business. They were living their lives. This Whitley guy kicked in their door, and guess what? He lost his life. Oh well. Make better choices, you'll have better outcomes. I could be wrong. I could be being very, very harsh. So I want to hear from you. Jump in the comment section. Let me know. David, you're being too harsh. Everyone deserves a second chance. No one deserves to get their life taken, especially if you're just defending property. You have some people out there who believe that if someone steals your car or they break into your house and they steal your belongings, that whatever they're stealing is not worth them losing their lives. So here's my response to those individuals. Don't put yourself in a situation where you might lose your life and you'll keep it. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell. Let's jump in the comment section. You can really support this channel by dropping a like, but if you really like this channel and these videos, drop a hype. You can go back and you can choose as many as 3 videos from the past 7 days. That really helps the channel. I appreciate everyone who continues to come back to the channel and consume the content that we're creating, and we're not stopping. We're gonna amp it up for the month of December. So like I said, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Thanks for hanging out this long, and we'll catch you in the next one.